We're here in Mt Plesant at Nico Restaurant, owned by Nico Romo, a master chef. This place was graded by the Charleston City paper as the best Mt Plesant restaurant and the best chef. He does amazing things with seafood. Let's check it out. I'm a Charleston native. I love to go on cruises, travel to amazing places, and enjoy local cuisine. This is Local Charleston. Born in Lyon, France, Chef Nico Romo is one of the youngest U.S. members of the French Culinary Academy and Master Chefs of France. He is just one of 66 French Master Chefs in the country and the only recipient in South Carolina. In 2017, he opened his first restaurant, Nico, combining his love of French cuisine and low-country ingredients. I think it's very amusing that this gourmet restaurant is housed in what was formerly an old Pizza Hut. The atmosphere here is relaxing and achieves both an elegance and casualness. Nico not only wanted this to be a great French restaurant, but a great oyster bar, so he and his friends hopped in a van and traveled up and down I-95, trying all the various oysters along the East Coast to find the absolute best. Originally, Nico was a head chef at a restaurant called Fish in downtown Charleston, a very popular eatery. And now, not only does he own the restaurant Nico, but in 2020 he opened Bistronomy by Nico, a quaint spot in downtown Charleston, and finally his third concept, Laura, an Italian-themed restaurant in Somerville which opened in the spring of 2022. All of Nico's restaurants offer excellent food and great service. And as I say about a lot of the restaurants I profile on this channel, reservations are highly recommended. I really thought the way he presented his menu was unique with this old wooden weathered placard with little pages that you flip through to see what they're offering that day. The menu here is quite diverse and offers a little bit for everybody. We started our meal with a couple of cocktails. My wife decided to go with the Devil's Highway. It has tequila, passion fruit, a chili simple syrup, and lime. It basically tastes like a slightly sweet margarita with a nice spicy kick at the end. As for me, I went with their front porch, which contained 3 Roses bourbon, Papal Mouse lemon, honey rosemary simple syrup. It offered that great bourbon taste, but slightly sweet, and was nice to be able to just sip on this all throughout the meal. They also have a nice selection of beer and wine available as well. For our starter, we chose the cheese puff, which is these nice little puffs with camembert sauce and parmesan sprinkled with honey. This was an excellent choice for an appetizer as they are light and crisp and not overly filling. The puffs themselves are just what you're looking for. They're nice and crispy and flaky, and when you cut them open, they just burst with this ooey gooey camembert cheese sauce. If you are a fan of all things cheese, I would highly recommend that you try this appetizer. And the sweetness of the honey really helps to elevate this dish. Now, one of my all-time favorite soups is French onion soup, and this one did not disappoint with its Gruyere cheese, and it says crouton, but it is a nice slice of bread. The soup was rich and decadent with lots of nice onions mixed into the broth, that bread sopping it all up, and then of course you have that ooey gooey stringy cheese that makes French onion soup so good. It was a really good start to the great meal we were about to experience ahead. Now, Nico's is an oyster bar, and they have a huge selection of raw oysters, but I've never been a big fan of raw oysters myself. However, I do love a good roasted oyster. Now, these oysters are listed as merguez butter, and they come with shallots and little ground up bits of sausage. I love how the oysters are presented, and they're of good size, and that little bits of sausage provided a nice spice contrast to the oyster itself. Biting into them, you can definitely taste the freshness of these oysters, and having that little bits of baguette bread to eat with it, it was just a perfect bite. Now, I'm a huge fan of mussels as well, and when we go to Italian restaurants, it's a very common item that my wife and I both order. So it was interesting for us to come and try their French cousin, Mussels Provençal, with shallots, parsley, garlic cream, and of course baguette for dipping in that wonderful sauce. Here's a pro tip for you. Take that baguette and let it soak up all that sauce, and you'll have a wonderful bite. For our side dish, we got the potato gratin, which comes with a cream with garlic and nutmeg. We were completely blown away by the size of this dish. This dish was definitely meant for sharing. The potatoes were cooked to perfection, not too tough, not too soft, just where you want to be, and smothered with that ooey gooey creamy cheese sauce. It really paired well with all the seafood that we were enjoying. Now, one of the great desserts that Nico is known for is his baked Alaska. Here the chef heats up a mixture of Grand Marnier and rum. The flaming concoction is then poured over the top of the baked Alaska itself. Then the creme brulee torch is used to ignite that concoction and get a nice sear on all that meringue surrounding it. I always find it a fun experience when something is prepared tableside. It just heightens the enjoyment of the meal. Now, I've had baked Alaska on cruise ships before, but this was truly a unique version of it. It was like 2 hockey pucks of vanilla ice cream, but they do ground up toffee, and they have these little chocolate cookies they ground up into it as well. And then you have that wonderful meringue on the top, and of course the Grand Marnier and rum adds to the flavor. Nico is as much an experience as it is a restaurant. It would be perfect for a date night just to get away and have some delicious seafood or French food near Shem Creek. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and follow. It doesn't cost you anything and it helps to grow the channel. And we put out a new restaurant video each week. And as always, thanks for watching.